Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of DNA-TVISION, and today I have with me owner of
Candy Girl Impressive Beauty,
Miss Tiffany
Guillory.
Guillory. What's going on, baby? How you doing?
I'm good, and how are you?
I'm pretty good myself. How life been treating you?
Can't complain. Thankful.
Well, I'm glad you decided to give us a little insight on your life. So where did it all begin?
Well, I'm a straight country girl. Pigs, chickens, turkeys, that is me. I was born in Houston, but I was raised in Cheek, Texas.
Cheek, Texas.
Yes.
What was that like?
I was you know what? My mom and my dad were my everything. So I'm the baby. It's just me and my brother. We're 10 years apart. So they definitely, I don't know, almost was raised like a grandchild instead of a child. So the answer, no, really probably wasn't there. But anything I ever wanted to do, my parents have always been those parents like, okay, go ahead and do it. I started dancing since I was 3, ballet, tap, jazz, all that kind of stuff. But I did that. I was in 4-H. Where I raised animals, cooked, did that kind of stuff. So definitely had the country living life.
I wouldn't have thought to say that.
Most people would not. I mean, yeah, I'm talking about like first place champion pig. I'm walking my pig at the state fair.
So you're not scared of insects or anything?
Oh no, I will kill a bug, a roach, and I will do it all.
That's good. So horse, the bulls, the big horses, the stuff like that.
I rode. I'm not a horse rider. I have rode. I've gotten hurt, so that was kind of scary. But
Tomboy?
I followed my dad more than my mom. So like the whole, now as an adult, that kind of haunts me. Because like most people, they talk about the whole cooking and stuff. I don't know. That's not me.
Can't cook?
I mean,
know how to.
I can follow a recipe maybe. That kind of thing. But
So, how old were you when you came to Cheeks?
I was we moved out there when I was 1. So I mean, that's all I know.
Okay, what's the elementary school out there?
Hampshire Finette. So I went to Hampshire Finette from elementary all the way up until my senior year. I realized also that I was going to be the only one of us that was going to graduate out of.
What?
Yeah, it was.
It's one school?
Well, okay, there's a street. So everybody on this side of the street went to Hampshire Finette, and everybody on this side of the street went to Hardin Jefferson. So the blacks were pretty much separated.
Oh, like that?
Yes. So, I mean, I had some people in my class, but like girl-wise, one of my friends had already started going to Westbrook. I had one friend that was thinking about staying and going. So it really wasn't, I just wanted to see what the experience was like, to see. I never went to school with a whole bunch of us, and I wanted to see what that was like. And I can honestly say the first day of school, I seen a girl get pepper sprayed, and I called my mother and said, take me out.
Where was this at?
At Westbrook.
The first day?
The first day of school.
Pepper sprayed?
Pepper sprayed. Yeah, they had a fight. They were fighting during the summer or whatever. So I was like, this isn't for me. I need to go back.
You got what you asked for, darling.
And my dad was like, that's what you wanted. You're going to stay over there. You're going to make it work. But no, honestly, I am glad that I did, because I still have friends from Hampshire Finette that I grew up with, like I said, from kindergarten all the way till my junior year. But at the same time, I was able to develop some friendships at Westbrook and the area schools in Beaumont that'll forever be with me.
What you did at Westbrook? What activities?
I was a star, so I was a dancer. I was in FFA. I was in the drama club. Like literally, I came in my senior year just running. Like, I mean, I've never sat still. And that's one of the things that my parents always instilled in me. Like, I'd leave from one practice. I would leave from like ballet or tap, and then we'd change in the car, and then I'd go to a 4-H meeting. Then I'd have to come home and feed animals, and then do homework. So I've always had that life. Yeah, always.
So after high school, what direction we went?
Okay, so in my mind, I'm going to college right after high school. Actually, I had a scholarship to Texas Women's University. My senior year, that is when I guess if I had my son in October, I don't even know, 9 months from that, that's when I got pregnant. So here it is. Nobody knew I was pregnant, including myself. I think I was in denial. I got pregnant at the age of 17. I had my son at 18, but I graduated everything. Nobody knew anything like that. And then I was supposed to leave to go off to school. I already met my roommate. And then my mother in church literally asked me, she was like, "Are you pregnant?" I'm 97 pounds. I mean, there's nothing showing, nothing. And I just bust out crying, and I was like, "Yes, ma'am." And
I wonder what made her ask. It just came over. She just felt it.
I think so. I think
felt it. Your mom, she just felt it.
Yeah, moms know everything, even though we think they don't. You know, they do. So I only have one child. Actually, he's 22. He'll be 23 in October. He's in the Air Force now. Oh my gosh,
proud of him.
What? Like, I don't know. Like, I'd be like, whose child is he? Because, like, he went a whole different direction. He listens. I didn't listen. I have to bump my head first. And then my mom's like, "I told you so." He, on the other hand, you tell him, he's going to follow that path. Very much like his father. But, yeah, I had D at 18. I was supposed to still go off to school. My parents were one of those people like, "No, this is not. Now, we're going to say this is the one time. This is the only one time, and we're going to help you through this." And I decided not to go off to school. I went to Lamar. In that process of going to Lamar, sadly to say, at this time I'm 18, I never had a job a day in my life. My job was my animals or taking them to, the slaughterhouse, things like that. So everybody's like, outsiders, "How you gonna be going to school and you have a baby, you ain't got no job?" And I was like, "Well, I have my mom and my dad." I took the money that I had, I went in behind my parents' back, and I took a course at Lamar at LIT to become a correctional officer. Remind you, I'm going to regular school, I'm going to LIT, and my parents don't know. Until this big yellow brown envelope comes in the mail and it says, "Congratulations, you've been hired on da-da-da-da." My mother still opens my mail to this day, and I'm 41. So she opens it. She doesn't tell me first. She tells my father. My father calls me, "It's time for you to come home." I get home, and they're like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Oh, I just wanted a job. I wanted a job and go to school." And they were like, "If this is what they thought I was going to quit." Because think about it. I've never gotten a fight a day in my life. Why was I going to go work at the prison? In my mind, my whole scenario was I didn't want my first job. I wanted to be able to make money to support my kid. And don't get me wrong, my child's father was actually already in the service. So financially, he was okay. But in my mind, as a mother, I felt like I needed to contribute. And so that's what I did. They really thought I was going to quit. And so that is why I did not. The only reason. Well, okay, so what did I do? The goal, the whole pact between my parents and me was as long as I continued school, I'd be fine. So Styles went to I'm 18 years old, maximum security prison. I'm working 2 to 10, perfect schedule, go to school in the morning, go to school in the morning, go to work in the afternoon. Styles went to 12-hour shifts. So what do? Do you quit work or do you quit school?
What shift would be best for you?
Well, what I did was I turned around and I dropped all my classes but 2 and continued working. So then in my head, I'm like, well, golly, I'm watching all these other people. Some of my friends go to the feds. And remind you, everybody's pretty much older than me. I'm still 18. And so I was like, well, golly, if I can go work over here and make double money. In my mind, I thought I was going to be able to go through the, not realizing that my age limit or age requirements. And I got slipped through the cracks. I was only at Styles maybe for a year and a half. Got hired on at the feds at 19. Went to Glencoe, and when they asked me for my driver's license to do the gun thing, I wasn't of age to do it.
Wow.
But they had already hired me.
Yeah.
So I worked at the feds, got addicted to money because I learned very fast about overtime. So I was that person that I was going to get it. By this time, I was not in school anymore. I have a cousin. She's no longer here anymore. She passed away about it's a little over a year now. Same age, kind of the same path. But she got hired on at the feds too, and she was at the pen. I was at the medium, and they beat her up really bad.
Ooh.
Bobby Scott. I could probably show you a picture, but Alicia knows her. And we did everything together. If one went to one school, the other one went. We followed every job that we did the same thing.
Man.
Well, she got beat up, and at that moment, I had to ask myself, do I go back to school?
Some inmates?
Inmates, yes.
Good God, man. Yeah,
I mean, she was smaller than me. Yeah. And so I turned around, and I was like, I got to get back to school. Because it's like, what do I want to do? I want to babysit grown men for the rest of my life. Nothing wrong with it, but I'm just saying I had to ask myself, I was so young. Mm-hmm. Is this what I want to do? So then I enrolled back in school, but I still went back to the prison, but this time I went to Dayton. So now I'm able to go to school and work. Not only that, I worked at the female unit. I was going to school for nursing. They let me do my clinicals out there. Just took this whole different path. Mm-hmm. To find out that I did not want to mess with anybody's blood or anything like that. This is not the role for me. This is not my life. So then, make a long story short, I ended up working again for the government. I worked for FEMA. I was traveling. Then we had Katrina. Then we had Rita. So Rita is home. So here it is. We're here for Rita. Everything is like, I'm doing good because I'm home. I get to see my kid. Mm-hmm. But I worked a lot. So to remind you, my kid is this basketball player. My parents are there. I'm living the life. On one hand, but at the same time, I'm missing my kid's life. Mm-hmm. And so now it's time for Rita to finish. And then I got a couple of offers. I had an offer to continue to stay with the program that I was with, but I just needed to leave. And that way I'll just be in and out, flying in and out. Then I got another offer to work at a company called SETIO, Southeast Texas Interfaith Organization. And I started out as administrative assistant. Well, the position was offered to me as administrative assistant, but it was like, she was like, just hang in there. And if this is what you do, I know you'll be, because the owner was going to retire. And she was like, I know that if you work hard, I think this is the position for you. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what happened. So I went ahead, I took a really huge pay cut. I started working there. Within a year and a half, I was then like her assistant, and then I took over that company. I was probably maybe 25. So I'm running a company, a whole construction crew.
The young boss moves.
Yeah, about 25.
Yeah.
25, 26. A staff of 26. Basically, you work yourself out of a job. That sounds really crazy, but when you're dealing with governmental money, our thing is to help low-income families with their housing, with their roofing. Because here it is, they've been affected by the hurricane, mm-hmm. and we use volunteer labor to actually rebuild their houses. So that's where we were. Then we had hurricanes back to back to back. So of course that kept us working. And then at the same time, like I said, we're working ourselves out of a job, and it's like, okay, what do I do next? Here it is. I done started out as a secretary. Now I'm the supervisor of this. Am I going to go back and just go work for someone else? I was unsure at that time, but then that was my prayer. It was like, God, you know what? This isn't what I want to do. I don't want to go, not that anything's wrong with working for someone else. It's just that I knew that's not what I wanted to do. So at the time, I had a savings, and I was going to sell hair. So I was going to sell hair in Louisiana. That's kind of where it all started. And I had a savings, and my savings depleted all the way down to $200 to my name. And from that point, I even got sick, and I did it for my kid. My thing is that I could have went back to work for the government, could have did some other things, but my son was reaching this point, his 11th and 12th grade year. Mm-hmm. I no longer wanted to be a mom that got the messages, okay, he scored such and such points. I wanted to be the mom with his number on the back of my shirt, cheering, saying right. I'm here screaming. Support. And yes, and working for myself has allowed me to be that mom. I closed when I wanted to do. I even put a sign on the outside of the door going to my son's game. I was able to be that mom. But at the same time, I can't say that it was easy, because it wasn't. He was used to a certain lifestyle. I was used to a certain lifestyle. And then this is where the sacrifices had to come. And so I had to ask myself, how bad did I want it? And I wanted it just as bad as I could breathe. Ain't nobody was going to take it away from me. And I was determined, that same 6-figure salary that I was at, I was determined to make it there on my own. Because if I could do it for somebody else, I felt like I could do it for myself. and even more. And so that's where that piece of it came. But like I said, I started out selling hair. When I came here, to be honest with you, that $200, I took $100 and I put a deposit on this spot. The other $100, I went and got 3 bundles of hair. And that is how this journey has started. And yeah, from nothing. I call this my angel room. The paint on this wall, I had a friend, his dad owns a church. They had extra paint. I used their paint, went to Walmart. I'm putting pieces together. The lady's asking me, what are you doing? I told her what I had going on, and she gave me some paint. So like, I definitely call it my angel room because it was nothing but God that made it happen for me. But through it all, not only that, on top of that, I've been in a long-term relationship for a very long time. He's my right hand man, but during this time, when I decided to start this business, the person that, who my family is always there for me, always, always, always. We split up for 2 years. Through the midst, it was chaos. But actually what it was is it was God's way of saying, you need no one else but me. Stop depending on others and depend solely on me. And we can't forget that. We can't forget it was God, because if you don't, he will make you remember. And that is exactly what has happened. I remember falling to my face and saying, God, you take over. And he did that. And so I can stand here to say I've been here 7.5 years. Beautiful. Don't even feel like it.
Went by quick.
What? Definitely. It was, people talk about like I'm telling you, have to want it. There were times where like now I have over 50 waist trainers. I started out with one. I would literally take pre-orders, go buy a couple of waist trainers, drive back home, sell that to only have to go back the next day. So to sit here to say, the things that I have now, the people that are in place in my life now, that he's placed, I can't say I'm thankful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful because even, my significant other, he's made it to where now that my business is my business. I can't lie. I don't pay bills. Like I'm able to like literally pour everything that I have into my business, back into my business to flourish and grow from there. So my parents, if I say, Mom, can you pick, they're in they're 78 and 80. If I say, can you pick this up for me and meet me here halfway, they're gonna do it. Like that's the support that I have. My friends, if I need somebody to go to Houston or if I need somebody to go to Louisiana, they are there. I'm so thankful. I now I have a staff of, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's like 6 of us. Yeah.
That's wonderful, man.
Yeah, that's a lot. Whoa, I haven't really told my story before, but yeah, it's been a minute. I know but it has not been easy. If anybody was to say, there's times, I remember one time my son looking at my account, he was like, oh, we have money. I was like, don't worry, keep you look tomorrow, that money won't be there. Because guess what? We got to turn around and buy inventory. Yes. But no, I just knew that, like I said, the sacrifices that I had to make, I wear nails now, but there was a moment that I didn't. Like the things that I do now, I just knew I couldn't then. So it's like, as more I poured into my business, the more that in return that I would get. Faith without work is dead, and I knew I had to put in the work. And there's so much more that I want to do, but I move at my own pace because I do have people, they're, oh, you should move into a new building, you should do this and you should do that. And in its own timing, when the time is right, we now have an online store, we now have a storage with the warehouse. So it's like I have this going on, I have that going on, decided to do other business ventures as well. So my hands are in different pots at the same time. So when something slows down here, I have something going over there. I'm just trying to build generational wealth. That's really where I'm at right now.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Well, Miss Tiffany, you blessed us, not really with an interview, a testimony.
Absolutely.
And I hope our listeners got something out of it. You are setting a beautiful example for Beaumont, your mother and father, and especially the black women. And you're doing a wonderful job, and we thank